Roger Goodell might be testifying today in a class action lawsuit against the NFL. I had no idea that was happening. Then I also read Jerry Jones might be testifying either today or sometime this week in a class action lawsuit. And I said, what is this? Roger Goodell's about to take the stand. We're talking about one of the greatest speakers of all time. This is something that I wish we all would have heard of. And it was all coming from your website. What the hell is happening? Where are we right now? And how does this end, probably, for everybody, Florio, as you've been the only one covering this, seemingly?
It really is strange. And I've made this point both on the website and on Twitter that it seems like no one's paying attention to this, and I don't know why. I don't know if we just haven't prioritized it yet. We haven't taken it seriously. I think it's good that people like you are seeing, hey, whoa, Goodell testifying, Jerry Jones testifying. Maybe this is something we should be paying closer attention to. This is a case that goes back to 2015. It was filed by a San Francisco pub known as the Mucky Duck, and it challenges the way, fundamentally at its core, it challenges the way the NFL sells the Sunday ticket package, the out-of-market way to, if you're a Packers fan in Pittsburgh, you can watch those games, and they market it like that. The commercials play to that idea that if I'm a displaced fan of some team and I'm in a different market, I can watch the games that way. So the fundamental question is this. Is the NFL forcing the Sunday ticket provider, previously DirecTV, now YouTube TV, to overcharge in order to ensure that a certain number of people won't get it and that they'll watch the CBS and Fox games made available to them in their local markets? It's a premium product, and there's plenty of evidence that's come in already that the NFL doesn't want it to be too cheap. It doesn't want it to be something that has a huge subscriber base, and the argument is it's trying to protect CBS and Fox. That's the core of the case. And I think caught up within that is just this idea that's been lingering ever since I first became aware of the Sunday ticket package. Why do I have to buy the whole thing for the whole year when I only care about one team's games? Why do I have to buy every week if the team that I want to watch has a Monday night game that week and I'm not going to watch any out-of-market games this weekend? So however this plays out, it could force the NFL to really change the way that games are made available to consumers. And that's a win for all of us, regardless of the verdict, regardless of what happens on appeal. This could rattle the cage enough for the NFL that they say, maybe we need to change the way this is. Maybe we do need to make it cheaper. Maybe we do need to let people buy one team at a time, 1 week at a time, one game at a time. So I hate to say it, but it's true. If the NFL loses, there's a chance that all of us win.
Okay, so obviously if people are going to pay cheaper money to watch their favorite team, that's good news for humans. The bottom line of the NFL is obviously something that will take a massive shot here. I think I saw from one of your tweets, like, potentially $21 billion in this class action lawsuit to over 2.5 million people that could potentially sign on to file alongside this Mucky Duck lawsuit that's taking place. The NFL, I assume, is just saying, we're a business. We're allowed to charge whatever the hell we want. This isn't the only way to watch our shows. This is an additive to everything we do. This is like people that charge $150 for T-shirts. That's what their business is. This is what our business is. Is that what they're saying? And how likely is that to be the winning side in the end of this entire thing?
Well, I mean, that's the gist of it. That they're not engaged in anything that would violate the antitrust laws, that they are just managing their business. It's a premium product. It makes choice available to all consumers. They can watch the games in the local market if they want to. They can purchase Sunday ticket if they want to. But again, the fight goes down to the pricing and whether and to what extent the NFL, working with CBS and Fox and DirecTV, now YouTube TV, is conspiring to basically fix the price in order to protect the contracts under which CBS and Fox pay billions of dollars to the NFL for those Sunday games. And they want people to watch their local CBS and Fox affiliates and drive up the ratings that way and not send them off to Sunday ticket. The antitrust angle here, and this is fundamentally an antitrust case. The NFL has an exemption dating back to 1961 as it relates to selling packages to CBS, Fox, NBC, ABC, the broadcast networks. They're allowed to sell all the games together. If you want the Cowboys, you also got to take the games maybe you don't want, and we decide what goes where. They can't be sued for antitrust for that, even though they are 32 different businesses operating under the Shield. They're 32 separate businesses. They would be subject to antitrust law. They're trying to argue in this case that the broadcast antitrust exemption extends to whatever is happening with Sunday Ticket and what they may or may not be doing that would otherwise violate the law. So I think they have arguments that, hey, it's not antitrust violation, and then even if it is, it falls under our exemption that we've had since 1961. So they always have a good defense. They always have good arguments. And it all gets worked out in the end, and that's why I wish we had more blow-by-blow coverage of this thing so I could have a better assessment of which way it's going. What I've seen so far, it feels like a tough case for the NFL because it seems pretty clear that, yeah, somebody's putting their thumb on the scale to drive that price up so people don't buy it.
Got it. And I think the first real headline that I saw of this case, without knowing this case was taking place, was that ESPN offered up like a $70 thing. Sunday Ticket Trial shows ESPN proposed selling the full season package for only $70 along with a single team option. The NFL didn't like the idea. Now you're getting that from the court documents, which I assume Mucky Duck's representation are the ones that are saying that that's how the NFL handled it all. But for ESPN, hey, let's go, man.
Yeah, smart.
Hey, way to go, ESPN.
It's a good look for ESPN. That's right. It shows that the ESPN was trying to, and look, I mean, you can say they're trying to create more options that are affordable for the consumer, but they're also trying to make money off of the investment that you would make in buying the rights to the Sunday Ticket package. You said something earlier that the NFL would lose money if it has to change the way it does business. I don't know that that's the case. They're still going to get their fee from the Sunday Ticket provider. And it should be enough for the NFL to say, what are you paying us $2 billion a year? Okay, fine. Do whatever you want with it. As long as we get our $2 billion, do whatever you want with it. If you're going to set a low price point and have a ton of subscribers, fine. High price point, small subscribers, we don't care. We're getting our money either way. And I think that if they're forced to abandon this practice of we want the price high, they're still going to make their money. Somebody's still going to give them a huge amount in order to have the rights to Sunday Ticket.
As somebody, amen, and I don't think the NFL will ever lose money. I was just kind of talking about the $21 billion that might be subject.
Oh, that'd be a big check to write. Yeah, that's a big check to write.
Yeah, but the NFL is always going to make money. They'll figure it out. Everybody's going to have 3 New Jersey options the next week after that, and all of a sudden we got $21 billion all the way back. So I know this because I was definitely sued by somebody, and Mr. Favre. And the whole thing that was being seemingly talked about by his lawyer publicly whenever he was going on podcasts and also privately with my lawyers that were handling the whole thing back in Pittsburgh. Shout out to Sarah Bronder, class of 2005, Plum High School. But nonetheless, all they kept saying is, does Pat want to go to Discovery? Does Pat want to go to Discovery? And they were asking me that question, and I was like, yes, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I will definitely go to Discovery. You send that question on back the other way. You know, obviously that's what is this have Discovery and everything? So like every conversation that the NFL seemingly would have had to have with YouTube and Google, whoever they were negotiating with, would then be found? Is that what's taking place right now? Like, what do we know about this?
That's already happened.
Okay, so that's already happened.
Okay. Here's just a brief overview of the journey of this thing.
And where are we right now? We're on the lower court system. Like, where the hell are we in this entire thing?
The case
Roger Goodell is testifying. This feels like a big deal.
Yeah. Huge.
This feels like a huge deal.
This is the trial. This is the culmination of years of roller coaster in the court system. The case was thrown out, and then on appeal, the case was revived, and other cases have been consolidated, and you've got 2 million people in this thing. They've already done all the discovery. What the NFL usually does when they're sued, they try to find a way to get out of it early. A silver bullet, motion to dismiss, or if they can, you have to send this thing to arbitration, ideally arbitration that is ultimately presided over by Roger Goodell. They try to do that whenever and wherever they can to keep it out of the public eye, and it's more likely to result in a favorable outcome. This was not dismissed. This went forward, and that's when you get thousands, if not millions, of documents and emails, and you review them, and you question people under oath in a deposition setting, and you do all the things that lead up to the trial. And just before the trial, what happens is, and the NFL did this here, there's a procedure called a motion for summary judgment. It says to the court, we don't need to have a jury come in here and decide anything. Based upon the facts as they are undisputed, these are the facts and they are undisputed, as Kevin Bacon said in A Few Good Men. Under the undisputed facts, apply the law and we win. The NFL tried that and they lost. They had to go to court and they started June 5. I think they believe it's going to be a 3-week trial. The plaintiff is already rested. They're in the defendant's case in chief. That's where Goodell and Jones are going to be called to testify. So, yeah, this thing is happening. The trial is happening, and a jury is going to enter a verdict. And for a lot of people, and it's going to be fewer people now that you're talking about it, but a lot of people, when they see the news, if the NFL gets whacked, they're going to be like, where have I been the last 9 years?
That's how I felt literally this morning. I mean, I guess I've missed out on 8 years. We're now getting video of Roger Goodell's tunnel walk. His fit is from Men's Warehouse. It does appear.
Wow.
Looks to be in jovial spirits. He's got good confidence. One hand in the pocket, letting people know he's ready for business if need be, but the other hand's out.
Yep.
Roger Goodell's about to go put on a show in this thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know and I both know that, Florio. This guy, what he's about to go do in this particular courtroom, the judges at one point probably going to say, damn, okay.
This guy's good.
This guy. He's the greatest speaker of all time.
Pat,
go ahead.
Here's the thing. And I agree with your assessment of how he performs in a press conference setting. Think of how a press conference is, though. In a press conference, you got a room full of reporters, and they all show up with the question that they had come to the table ready to ask. So one reporter asks a question, maybe on a difficult issue, and you get word salad, and he stops, and then in comes another reporter on a completely different issue. Because I got my question I'm going to ask. I'm not going to ask a follow-up question. I'm not going to say, hey, you didn't answer that last question. They're going to ask a different question, and it just ricochets around from reporter to reporter. When you're in this setting and you have one person asking you the question, if you ask a tough question and you get word salad in response,
I don't know who's asking the question. Again. I got Roger Goodell over whoever's asking the question.
Until you answer it.
Listen, I understand that you got to check people and push back whenever they're giving answers, and I guess you have all the answers. If you're able to do that, you have to have all the answers. Goodell's got all the answers.
Yeah, and he was there before already. Goodell. He
was on. Did you see that when they called him Mr. Goodell? Do you think this is a proper usage of the United States taxpayer money, Mr. Goodell?
I remember when his name first surfaced in 2006 as a potential commissioner. I thought, how do you pronounce this guy's name? And it's amazing. It's been 18 years now since he's had that job, and he's done it well. His bosses love him. He does the job well. He serves as the guy who is the human shield for them to do whatever they want and say whatever they want, and he stands up there and takes the bullets and does it well. He handles himself in press conferences well, but Pat, I'll tell you this. He had to testify 2 years ago in a case where they're trying to get their insurance companies to pay for the full concussion settlement. Every penny of it they wanted to come from their insurance policies. 400 pages, and I read every one of them and managed to stay awake for most of it. When he's in that setting and it's just him and a lawyer and his lawyer, you can detect he isn't real happy and he tries to do sword play with the lawyer. You got to be careful when you're in front of a judge and a jury. In front of a jury, you got to be very careful. Everything you do, they're watching. Everything you say, they're listening. And it's a different reality. When you think about it, whether it's Jones, Robert Kraft, Roger Goodell, these guys are used to being the emperor everywhere they go. All of a sudden, remember that movie with Tom Hanks? I'm the captain now. The judge is the captain now. Another Few Good Men reference. To Jack Nicholson, sit back down.
Hey, you're killing it so much. You hit the mic. Hey, we appreciate the hell out of you, man. Thank you for breaking that down for us. We'll continue to follow as you just beat the hell out of a microphone. I love that. Everybody's all jacked up for DeChambeau.
Hell yeah.
We appreciate you, Florio. You're the man.
Thanks, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Talk to you next time.
Pro Football Talk founder, Mike Florio.
Yeah, Florio.
That's a big deal.
Oh, huge deal.
Literally, called Florio this morning after I read his tweet. I'm like, is different Roger Goodell? You're talking about a different Roger Goodell going to testify? He goes, no, nobody's talking. I don't know why anybody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. It's a big deal. Open court, I guess.
Yeah, shout out ESPN, too. If they do the $70 option, obviously they won't, but that being a thing, and then also the individual team being something. Like, I was thinking about that, too. Like, hey, if I only want to watch Patriots games and I don't want to watch the rest of them, that not being an option yet kind of stinks, but that would be a huge kind of level up for that entire thing.
The quote from Roger Goodell as he was walking into court was, is it football season yet? That's what Roger Goodell asked me as we were exiting the security station in Los Angeles Federal Courthouse. The NFL boss. What if he starts going by NFL boss?
Should.
I'm the boss.
Twitter account?
Jerry Jones' first statement while he's taking that guy's not the boss. Just so he did lie under oath.
Yep, I'd like this on record. He's not the boss.
Not, I am. Okay, there's 31 others, not 30. Because we don't count Murphy up there in Green Bay. So there's a lot of bosses. He ain't one of them. I'd like to strike that from.
Would Jerry be the only other owner?
So he's part of the media rights deal. Like everybody talks about, that's why like the Dallas Cowboys are on TV all the time. Not only because they have the largest fan base and obviously yada, 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 but allegedly Jerry Jones is a part of the media rights group that does all the negotiating. Yeah. So playing like Cards Against Humanity, and we talk about this a lot, when you're playing Cards Against Humanity, you got to play the person that is picking, okay? That's a game where you have to have the funniest entry, and people always try to play like what they think is the funniest. The game is playing the person who's picking what they will think is the funniest. That's what I think a lot of people thought, because Jerry Jones is one of the lead people on the media rights deal. It's like, we'll put the Cowboys, boom, bang, boom, boom. Then whenever we're negotiating with Jerry, it's a lot easier. There's obviously a committee and a panel, but I think Jerry has been hoisted as the guy. And I might be completely wrong on this. This is just kind of how it's been understood publicly and privately in this entire thing, is he's like the media rights guy. So he would certainly be a part of this particular conversation. Imagine, what is the price now for 1 year?
$280?
$400.
$480?
Yeah, okay. $450, $480. Yeah,
$480 or something like that is the cost. And if it's 2.5 million people or whatever, I think I did the math at $450, and it was like 1.15 billion for that, and then let alone all the other add-on. And it's like, they're never going to lose money. I mean,
no chance.
They're just going to generate capital forever.
Also, I was thinking about if you had the option just to buy a game on a week-to-week basis, how much do you think? I mean, it's like a pay-per-view event. Like, how much do you think they're selling a single Sunday night football game for, or whatever the case? That's not cable.
The things that Roger Goodell is going to say to this lawyer. Have you ever run a business before? So we're negotiating one-game rights deals worth billions of dollars with Amazon, and Netflix is involved now, which you were going to ask about, but ran out of time with Florio. We certainly should try to get his take on that, how they're trying to find which network is going to help them on the back end broadcast their games, much like Amazon hired NBC to do their thing. Netflix was looking to do the same. They're struggling, allegedly. That's what reports on the internet are saying, mostly because these people want to welcome in a new competitor. Well, NBC said yes to Amazon immediately. Yeah, sure. I mean, you can get our world famous director.
Right.
What's his, the Paisan? Fred.
Al's guy.
Fred Goodell?
Goodell. Yeah, they put the greatest of all time, allegedly, on there. Al Michaels on there. It's like NBC kind of, I don't want to say carte blanche, but they did for Amazon. Now, allegedly, maybe Netflix they're saying no to. Maybe we don't. We'll see how that goes. Money will get this whole thing figured out. I'll be excited to see who will be calling those games. But Roger Goodell is going to point out how much money they're negotiating one game for.
Yeah.
So whenever you're talking about people being able to carte blanche games, that kind of works against our business that we already have. We sell this package. This is how much it is. It is a premium product. You can put 4 on TV at one time. You can literally watch whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. We got a Red Zone channel with this guy who somehow doesn't pee for the entire day, also available as one of the options. It's maybe ESPN want to do it for $70, but we chose for our business not to go with ESPN.
Yeah, nor will we ever do it for $70.
I feel like that's all I can say. I don't like it. I think it's better for fans to be cheaper. Obviously, our show, always free, is free, will remain free. I believe in that mantra of hey, if people can't afford it, they should still be able to enjoy party. And I think the NFL probably feels that way with the local deals that they have done, and the bunny things, with social media now you can see stuff. I think it's going to be a tough one to crack Roger Goodell, because what's the guy going to say? He's greedy. And then Goodell's going to go, you ever run a business before? How about one that's the biggest in the world?
Yeah.
How about that? So I don't know how they lose this. And I think that's maybe why Goodell's walking in.
Yeah.
Football season yet?
I'm about to go put on a business acumen 101 to this lawyer. Now, Florio said he ran through the transcripts, 400 pages of that insurance thing, which also such an NFL move. We're not paying the CTE concussion.
Yeah.
That's, you guys are our insurance company. You're paying all that. They're like, to hell we are. We're insurance companies. We don't actually pay stuff. That's not in our business. It is. And then Goodell going in there trying to blame him. That is just the most NFL move of all time. They have all the money in the world. They will continue to get all the money in the world. And we just kind of got to live in it and watch the hell of it, because the sport is awesome.
And in that,
and that's why we love it.
That's why we love it.
In that situation too, I talking about Goodell getting uncomfortable and kind of squirming. I think the situations are very different too, and you're dealing with concussions and former players who are, their health is bad now, and you got guys dying, and then this is but hey,
dude, talking to insurance companies, that's one of the only times ever Goodell can do this.
Yeah, true.
He can high horse 2 insurance companies.
Yeah.
If Goodell talks shit to an insurance company, he's like babyface, even though he's trying to pay none of the money
right
to. And It's a fantastic business. I don't know how they do it. And he said he's a shield for the owners. Goodell told us right to our face he wouldn't lie.
Exactly.
He serves the fans.
Yeah.
Always.
He serves the
Right.
game.
He does,
Always
Yeah.
had.